everyone, so it's me, Mylene Archaga, and welcome to my first ever video. This video is all about science, technology, and society. And by the way, this video is for educational purposes only. Lesson 3, The Good Life. In ancient Greece, when we try to understand the world and the reality about something, we also try to understand about ourselves. And there are two philosophers who have different views about the good life. First is Plato. He claims that despite the reality of changes, things remain and they retain their ultimate oneness. Like for instance, normally we see ourselves in front of the mirror before or after going to bed. At night, we're looking at ourselves without pimples on our face. Unfortunately, in the morning, there's a changes happen, like a new pimple that grows on our face. On Plato's point of view, the person who slept last night without pimple and the person the next morning with pimples is the same person, despite the occasional changes happen. And to Aristotle's view, he believed that things are changing and impermanent. The good life can only be attained through living virtuously and doing things that are not against his will. Happiness as the goal of a good life. According to John Stuart Mill, an action is the right as far as it maximizes the attainment of happiness for the greatest number of people. And there are different schools of thought, all of which aim for the good and happy life. First, the materialism. Second, the hedonism. Third, the stoicism. Fourth, the theism. And fifth, the humanism. So first is materialism. It is led by Democritus and Leucippus. People are clinging on material wealth as the primary source of the meaning of existence. So these are the people that are very materialistic. They always buy all their wants because that's what makes them happy. Second is hedonism, and it is led by Epicurus. The end goal of life in acquiring pleasure. And there is a slogan, eat, drink, and be merry for tomorrow we die. So, hedonism means that we have to enjoy every moment of our life, or we have to live life to the fullest because we only live once. Third is stoicism, led by Epicurus. To generate happiness, one must learn to distance oneself and be apathetic, showing or feeling no interest or concern. So, in short, these are the introvert type of person who enjoys spending time alone. Yes, they prefer to be alone than being with a large group of people. Fourth, theism. Most people find the meaning of their lives using God as a fulcrum center of their existence. So, these are the people who love serving God and devoting their life to God. The last but not the least, the humanism. It emphasizes common human needs and seek rational ways of solving human problems. The best example for this are the scientists. Yes, because they carve their own destiny, which is they create problem, but they're also the one who find ways or in how to solve that problem they created. And now let's proceed to lesson 4, when technology and humanity cross. So technology came from the Greek words techne and logos, which means art and word. And according to Buchanan 2010, technology means a discourse on arts. And there are roles played by technology these days, or let us say the benefits we get from using these technologies. It makes our life so much easier and more convenient than before. And it does not only bring convenience to us, but also it gives pleasures and happiness to people. Like they allow us to listen music, watching movie, and also to surfing the net to communicate people that are very far from us. And now let's proceed to television sets, mobile phones, and computers. First, television set. According to Kantar Media, the most trusted and remains to be the ultimate medium for advertisement placement, the Manila Times 2014. And these are the people who contributed or invented some various products in creating a television set. First is Paul Gottlieb Nipkow, a German technician and inventor who invented the Nipkow disc, which laid the foundation of television, since his disc was the fundamental component in the first televisions. And his invention, called electric telescope. Next are Alan Archibald Campbell Swenton, an English scientist, and Boris Rossing, a Russian scientist. They created a new system of television by using the cathode ray tube in addition to mechanical scanner system. Campbell Swenton, the first man to envision a completely electronic television system. He was one of the first to explore the medical application of radiography, opening the first radiographic laboratory in Britain in 1896. And Boris Rossing, a Russian scientist, had proposed as early as 1907 to use a cathode ray tube to display an image as the receiver. And there are two types of television system: mechanical television and electronic television. And now let's proceed to mobile phones. And Martin Cooper, a senior engineer at Motorola, made the world's first mobile phone call on April 3, 1973. Computers and laptops. Charles Babbage, 19th century English mathematics professor, designed the analytical engine which was used as the basic framework of the computers. Osborne won Orphanet 2011, first through portable computer, and was released in April 1981. Aside from the benefits we get from using technology, there's also a bad effects to us from using it. So first, it makes us lazy and unhealthy. Second, people are already overly dependent on the devices. And third, it may bring people virtually closer but not physically or personally. And now let's proceed to robotics. Robotics is an actuated mechanism programmable in two or more axes, with a degree of autonomy, moving within its environment to perform intended tasks. Service robot. A robot that performs useful tasks for humans or equipment, excluding industrial automation application. So, the example for this service robot are domestic servant robot and automated wheelchair. Next is professional service robot. Is used for commercial tasks, usually operated by a properly trained operator. The example of professional service robots are cleaning robots for public places, delivery robots in offices or hospitals, and firefighting robot, rehabilitation robot, and surgery robot. And I know you're very familiar with this. And have you heard there is a robot that is used in Jollibee, a robot that deliver your foods at your table? And that is the example of professional service robot. And there are rules played by robotics. Law 1, a robotic may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. Law 2, a robot must obey the orders given it by human beings expert where such orders would conflict with the first law. Law 3, a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first and second law. And now let's proceed to Chapter 3, Specific Issues in Science, Technology, and Society. Lesson 1, The Information Age. According to Webster, information is knowledge communicated or obtained concerning a specific fact or circumstances. Information age is defined as a period starting in the last quarter of the 20th century when information became effortlessly accessible through publications and through the management of information by computers and computer networks. And also, according to James R. Messenger, who proposed the theory of information age in 1982, the information age is a true new age based upon the interconnections of computers via telecommunications with these information systems operating on both a real-time and as-needed basis. History. So next is history of information age. I'm not gonna tackle it one by one, so I'll just provide a chart or a timeline of the information age. So now let's tackle again about computer. So what is computer? Computer is an electronic device that stores and processes data. Types of computer. Personal computer, it is a single-user instrument. Desktop computer, it is described as a PC that is not designed for portability. Laptops, these are portable computers that integrated the essentials of a desktop computer in a battery-powered package which are somewhat larger than a typical hardcover book. They are commonly called notebooks. Personal digital assistants are tightly integrated computers that usually have no keyboards but rely on a touch screen for user input. Server. It refers to a computer that has improved to provide network services to other computers. Mainframes. These are huge computer systems that can fill an entire room. Wearable computers. They involve materials that are usually integrated into cell phones, watches, and other small objects or places. The World Wide Web or the Internet. The Internet is a worldwide system of interconnected networks that facilitate data transmission among innumerable computers. And it was developed during the 1970s by the Department of Defense. Applications of computers in science and research. One of the significant applications of computers for science and research is evident in the field of bioinformatics. Bioinformatics is the application of information technology to store, organize, and analyze vast amount of biological data which is available in the form of sequences and structures of proteins, the building blocks of organism and nucleic acid into information carrier. Computer and software tools are widely used for generating this database and to identify the functions of proteins, model of the structure of proteins, determine the coding, regions of nucleic acid sequences, find suitable drug compounds from a large pool, and optimize the drug development process by predicting possible targets. Lesson 2. Biodiversity and Healthy Society. Biodiversity and Ecosystem. Biodiversity is defined as the vast variety of life forms in the entire Earth. It encompasses all kinds of life forms, from the single-celled organism to the large multi-celled organisms. And biodiversity plays a major role in this natural dynamics. For example, a large number of golden snails in a certain area of a rice field can help predict a low production of rice harvest, since eggs of the golden snails are considered best for rice plant. Changes in biodiversity. A change in biodiversity could have erratic effects not only in wildlife or marine life but also in human beings. For example, human inhabiting the forest would disturb the natural order of life. Trees and plants would be affected in the land clearing operations where the houses would be built. The animals, insects, and all types of life forms in the cleared area would either be displaced or mostly likely be killed. Threats to biodiversity. There are major threats to biodiversity that were identified by the United Nations Environment Program. These are the following. First, habitat loss and destruction. Second, alteration in ecosystem composition. Third, overexploitation. Fourth, pollution and contamination. Fifth, global climate change. And that's all threats to biodiversity. Consequences of biodiversity loss. The loss of biodiversity has many consequences that we understand and many that we do not. It is apparent that humankind is willing to sustain a great deal of biodiversity loss if there are concomitant benefits of society. We hope they are net benefits. In many cases, the benefit seems to accrue to a few individuals only. With net societal loss, however, it is extremely difficult to estimate the future cost of losses in biodiversity of environmental damage.